Hello YouTube, it's me, Short Nature here, back with a brand new video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Stasis subclasses that are going to be coming for your Guardian class and Destiny 2 Beyond the Light. Destiny 2 Beyond the Light is set to release on November 10th of this year. There are going to be Don't worry, 3 Guardian classes will have the Stasis subclass, but for today's spotlight, we're looking at the Warlock, which is called the Shadebinder. This is going to be the new Dark subclass, or the Stasis subclass for your Guardian class setup, and there's some interesting things in articles that they put out for this class setup. So Stasis is the new elemental power to Destiny 2 since the original trio of Arc, Solar, and Void, and we'll introduce this one for all Guardian classes. Don't worry, every Guardian will get to have to play and mess around with the new Stasis subclass, so don't keep that in mind. Now, a lot of people are having some conflicting things about Stasis. People are saying it's ice, people saying it's a frozen ability. Just putting that sense, it's combined 2 in 1. Let's just say that it's ice and frozen enemies combined. You can froze your combatants, meaning your PvE or your PvP. If you're one of those players, doesn't matter, or both, you can froze your combatants with this subclass. Now, there's some interesting things coming out of this article for today. They were talking about the customization of this subclass that you can really do. And that's what we're going to be talking about. What are some of the key skills and aspects that you'll be able to use in this subclass? Now, the customization has got everybody's attention. I think that Destiny, or just Bungie in general, has put in a lot of details when it comes to this ability. And hopefully that they would do this for Arc, Void, and Solar, and just not for the Stasis subclass. Now, there's some new key things that you will see on top of your screen is the abilities, the aspects, and fragments in the customization AI unions that you will see in Destiny 2 Beyond the Light. This said each Stasis subclass in Beyond the Light will give players the ability to customize abilities like grenades, movement modes, class abilities, and so forth and so forth. In addition, we're adding new layers of customization with additions of aspects and fragments. Those are the key things that you will see right now on your screen. Now, a lot of people are really looking forward to this because a lot of people have talked about back in the Destiny 1 days. If you guys remember with the Solar, Arc, and Void, we were able to customize our class setups with that. We were able to do this and do that. There was a lot of key things in there. And then in Destiny 2, they kind of move into the tree class setup that a lot of people are not big fans of. And I'm not really a big fan of that, like how it was in Destiny 1, where you can mix and match. They kind of bring about that same aspect into the Shadebinder Warlock subclass, or just any of the subclasses that you will see further on this week and the next couple of months. We'll be able to customize whatever aspect that we feel like it. Now, the aspect manifests as a physical item in the world, such as crystallization of a Vex or a robotic fallen arm, for example. When slotted in, aspects will offer players new abilities, among other effects. These abilities can be mixed and matched freely by the player. Many aspects will have space for the fragments to be slotted in. Fragments are also physical items you can discover in the world that, when applied to aspects and other additional passive perks, such as stat bonus, may come with penalties. So, of course, there's going to be penalties in most retrospect in Destiny 2. There will be penalties when you're mixing and matching. Moving on, as you see on your screen, there are some key things we're going to be looking at. The one is called the False Pulse, and then the other one's called Whisper of the Bonds. As you can see, the key player found false can't speak right now, false pulse into the world. This is a stated aspect. And then as you can see on your stream, it says fragment slots. Then, as you can see, moving on to the next slide, you see the Whisper of the Bonds. This is a status fragments. And it says key here, it says defeat frozen targets with weapons, grant you super energy, but there's some penalties involved with it. As you can see, you will lose -10 in intelligence and -10 in discipline. So that kind of sucks with that. Yes, you grant super energy when you defeat frozen targets with weapons, and that's a good aspect. And definitely if you're a person, this kind of light fragment can be used in the PvE type of setup. If you're a person who like to use their super energy a lot and want to take it down combatants, this might be a good class setup or good fragment to use, but you would lose some intelligence and disciplines at the same time. Now, they go in more further details, kind of explaining what I just talked about. It says, for example, a warlock finds a false pulse aspect in the world and equips it. These aspects augmented their rift ability, which now freezes any enemies caught in the field. The false pulse aspect also has a fragment slot available along with other customization. These warlocks decide to slot in the whisper of the refraction fragment that replenish some of their class ability energy upon shattering enemies. They now have themselves up to a 1-2 punch if they played it skillfully, can use this combo frequently. So there's a lot of key things coming into this with the fragments and aspects. Now, for me personally, Destiny 2 is known for kind of like mixing up builds and stuff like that. And especially for PvP players and PvE players. People like to make tons of videos of key aspect builds you can use in PvP, PvE, meaning like your dungeon, your raids, your Grandmaster Nightfall strikes, and so forth in PvE. And then you have the other aspect of the community, the PvP builders, content creators who show you how to build certain things. Now with the aspects and fragments kind of introducing itself into the Destiny 2 community, there's going to be tons of videos of key builds that you can use for each of those activities. And it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of builds people can provide to the community in PvP and PvE. Now, this article kind of details everything. Not too much. I will leave the article in the description down below so you guys can read through it and see what you feel about this class setup. Don't worry, they will have more details and information about this class setup, meaning like your Titan and your Hunter in the future dates. Now, they did said in this week's article, which is coming up Thursday, they did mention in this article, says, in our next article coming this Thursday, we will point out that the status spotlight at the class that loves to punch first and ask questions later, and that will be the Titan class setup. So they're going to give you like a sneak little teaser about the class setup of the Titan. In the meantime, check out the Status Hub's page to learn more about the Status in general. So I will have both of those links in the description down below. We give you more further details about Status. Status is a status field. We have Frozen and we have Shattered. We will have more details and information what that means. Now, we did had a sneak peek of the Warlock. We will have a sneak peek of the Titan, like they're mentioning, this Thursday on September 3rd. The Hunter, you will learn more next week on September 8th. We will learn more about the Hunter stats, the status subclass for the Hunter very soon. If you guys found the video entertaining or found the video informing, let me know in the comment section down below. I didn't want to make this video too long because I feel like you guys can read the articles yourself and see, what class setup that you're looking forward to kind of enhance this power and use this power against the darkness when Destiny 2 Beyond the Light is set to release on November 10th. Give me your thoughts and opinion about the Warlock status subclass. I want to see what your thoughts on it. Me personally, I do not use the Warlock too often. I'm not a Warlock type of classer. That's not my class. As you guys see throughout my videos, I use my Hunter as my class setup throughout any activity that I'm doing. Doesn't matter if it's, strikes or PvP. That is my main class setup. And here and there, I will use my Titan, but my main class is Hunter. So I cannot really wait to see what the status for my Hunter subclass will be. In the meantime, thank you for watching. And if you guys still deciding what edition is best for you, check out this video right here to see what Beyond the Light edition is best for you. And I will catch you guys in my next post.